what up guys, it's me, Tonelico here, and it's my birthday. I am officially 29, and for that, I want to share with you guys 5 Jrpgs from my collection that honestly hold a very special place in my heart. Some of these aren't even like in my top 10 of all time. I have selected a couple of retro games from the PS2, a couple from PS4, and one on PS5. Now, those games being Tonelico 2 and Shining Force Exa, as well as One Piece Odyssey, Monster Hunter World, and Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, these 5 games, I'm going to share with you guys some short stories about why they are so special to me, and just like go over like a little bit of my history with each of these games, as they have meant a whole lot to me. Now, right now, as you can see, this is actually Star Ocean: The Divine Force just playing in the background. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. I have quite a bit that I want to share about these games. Pretty much all of these games I haven't really talked much about on my channel. I think the most that I've talked about any of these games would be Tonelico 2, as I've mentioned this like at least half a dozen times already. It is one of my favorite turn-based JRPGs ever. But I'm going to share with you guys like a story of like where I got these from. Like there's a couple of them, like especially the PS2 games, like how I got them like was a very great moment for me. And with that, I'm just going to do the normal YouTuber thing and be like, smash that like button if you guys really enjoyed this video. You can leave a comment down below, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for when I upload new videos. I have a couple of really great videos coming out next week, or well, within the week, that I hope you guys will really like. So with that, let's dive into these 5 amazing JRPGs. Starting off, I wanted to get the real easy one out of the way, and that's One Piece Odyssey. And the main reason why this game is just so very special to me is because it's an RPG based off of my favorite shonen anime. No, not just my favorite shonen anime, but my favorite anime of all time. I was never really a big fan of the shonen genre. I grew up watching, well, when I got into mecha anime back in high school, and then from then on, I was primarily watching a lot of mecha anime. I loved giant robots, hence why my YouTube channel name is called Mecha Otaku Gamer, because I'm a huge fan of giant robots. And then I started watching Fairy Tail, and I binge watched a lot of Fairy Tail. Now, prior to that, I did binge watch all of the original Naruto, and that was really good. But it was Fairy Tail that really sold me on the shonen genre. After that, I decided to give One Piece a chance. And this was like around 2014, 2015 when I started watching One Piece. And from then on, I have been hooked on the anime ever since then. I've also played a lot of the One Piece games, from Unlimited World Red on the 3DS. I played Pirate Warriors 4, some One Piece Burning Blood. I even played the One Piece Ultimate Adventure, or no, Unlimited Adventure game on the Wii. And when One Piece Odyssey was announced and that it was going to be an RPG, I was all for it. I could not believe that we were going to get an official RPG on modern consoles for the One Piece anime. And when I played it, this game was just absolutely mind-blowing. I loved it. I didn't even care that it's a turn-based RPG. I thought it was going to be an action RPG, but no, it's turn-based. But regardless, I still absolutely love One Piece Odyssey. It's one of my favorite RPGs of all time. And it means a whole lot to me because it's just One Piece. It's a really great anime. And this is a really great game, and I highly recommend, if you haven't played One Piece Odyssey, even if you haven't even seen One Piece, this game is so good, and who knows, maybe by the end of it, you will want to watch One Piece. I know for me, playing this game made me want to watch One Piece even more than I have been. It's just that good of a game, and you get to play as all the Straw Hats. You can have all of them, except for like one character that joins the Straw Hats late in the series, and spoiler alert, that ends up being Jinbei, a badass fish man. Okay, so got another pretty easy one that I want to talk about, and this is Monster Hunter World. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Monster Hunter series. I'm not the greatest, and I actually don't really play that much Monster Hunter, but I still love the series a lot regardless. The monsters in this game, well, in the franchise, look absolutely cool. Some of them are pretty weird, but there's a lot of them that are really cool, and I love how it's not your traditional, like, regular action RPG where you level up via EXP. You level up by honing your skills and mastering different weapon classes and being able to take on giant monsters to build better armor, weapons, and other equipments. And you can play this online with other people. I had a very fun time playing this once online with one of my best friends in real life, and it's just a really great game. This was the very first Monster Hunter game that I ever played, and I was an absolute noob when I started it. I wanted to be a bowgun user, and using the bowgun at the very beginning of the game just was not really doing it for me. It was taking me a lot longer to take on the different monsters, and I wasn't really making much progress until I decided to like switch over to dual blades and long swords. And that was actually after I got into Monster Hunter Rise on the Nintendo Switch, and then it made me want to go back to Monster Hunter World and try and get better. And now, honestly, I have to start all over from the beginning, and I'm not really bothered by that because I didn't really transfer my save file when I got my PlayStation 5, and I really don't mind starting over because then I can try and get better than I ever was. Now, I really cannot wait for Monster Hunter Wilds, so I'm definitely going to be playing a lot of Monster Hunter Worlds and to get myself hyped up and not feel so rusty when I eventually do jump into Wilds. I know it's coming out very soon, but for me, I'm going to have to wait a little bit in order to play it. Until the meantime, I can't wait to dive back into one of my favorite Monster Hunter games of all time. I hope to also get one of my friends, or a couple of my friends, to go on some hunts with me, because those hunts with friends are very memorable. I still enjoyed the time that I played with one of my best friends. He helped me out a lot getting past the Anjanath hunt, taking on Zora Magdaros, the elder dragon that looks like a giant volcano, and helping me get to new areas. And hopefully he'll be willing to join me again. Okay, so this is Kingdom Hearts 3, third game I really want that is special to me. And why it's special to me is that it's the first Kingdom Hearts game that I actually, beaten. I've played a little bit of the original first two Kingdom Hearts games, and I love Kingdom Hearts 2. It's my favorite game in the entire franchise. But Kingdom Hearts 3 ended up being the first game that I actually beat. And that was just due to the fact that it was one of the only games that I had available to play on my PS4 for a period of time. It was Kingdom Hearts 3 and the original Spider-Man, as well as Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And this was like the only RPG that I had for a little bit, because I was just getting back into, well, I was trying to get my collection back. And this was back in 2020, during the height of the pandemic. And I was wanting to rebuild my game collection at the time, because prior to that I ended up having my entire game collection, except for Final Fantasy XII on PS2, stolen from me. And I started rebuilding my collection, and for PS4 I only had a few games at one time, and Kingdom Hearts 3 ended up being one of those really great special games for me. I really love Kingdom Hearts 3, even though a lot of people like to say it's one of the worst in the franchise. Honestly, it's a really good game once you get past some of the flaws. Now, I recently played it on PlayStation 5, and it does look gorgeous on PlayStation 5, but some of the character models, especially Sora, looks a little bit derpy, if you ask me. And I honestly don't care. I mean, I'm not the biggest, like, graphics snob or performance snob, so that doesn't really bother me. Kingdom Hearts 3 is still a really great game and means a lot to me. Despite what others may say, I still really enjoy it, and I'm glad I made myself play this game. It reminded me of all the fun times that I had playing through all the different Disney worlds. I'd say my favorite, or at least my top two favorites, was the Frozen and the Big Hero 6 world. The Tango world was also a lot of fun, and it was also nice to see a return to the Pirates of the Caribbean world, which is always one of my favorites in the entire franchise, and it looked even better in this game. Oh man, Kingdom Hearts 3 is really a lot of fun, and if you haven't played it, you can get it like dirt cheap on the PlayStation 4. I think it's also available on other consoles. I know it's on Xbox and PC. So yeah, if you haven't played it, please give it a chance. And here is Shining Force Exa. Now, I never really knew that this game existed until I played Project Cross Zone on the 3DS, where I was introduced to the two main characters of this game, Toma and Cyril. And then eventually I found out that it is an action RPG set in the Shining Force series, or the Shining franchise, and it kind of takes on like a semi-isometric view. You have up to 2 other party members you can play as either Toma or Cyril, and you can always swap back between them as they are on the hunt for the mystical Shining Force, which in this game ends up being a legendary sword that grants them unlimited power. And that unlimited power turns out to be a mobile fortress called the Geo Fortress that at some points you do have to defend from enemies. And then you just go on throughout the world and trying to prevent a war that could awaken an ancient evil. And along the way you do recruit other characters. You get like this badass Wolfman character, whose name kind of escapes me. You also have this very beautiful elf girl, as well as a centaur, and then you have a couple of other characters that join you, and then there's some super secret, like super powerful characters like a dragon. You get a robot guy named Adam, and then you get like this super ultra powerful like skeleton warrior knight guy. Now, what really makes this game special for me is that it's not only one of the very first Shining games that I've ever played, but I had a really good day going to Seattle, checking out Pink Gorilla and Al's Music and Games in the University District, and I ended up finding this game. I only had a disc-only copy prior to finding this game yet again, this time with the case and artwork. And that was a really fun game hunting day. I ended up getting not only that, but also finding like Suikoden 4 and a bunch of other games, and I will always associate this game with that very day. It was a really beautiful day out. Really enjoyed going down to Seattle. Pink Gorilla always has some really great things, but I ended up finding this game at Al's Music and Games, which, to my surprise, I was actually really happy because I had gotten rid of my disc-only copy because I was hoping to try and piece it all together, but I couldn't get any luck with finding just the case and manual. Now I'm just looking for the manual for the game. So that's why Shining Force Exa is very special to me. And now I move on to my favorite turn-based JRPG of all time, that being our Tonelico 2 Melody of Metaphalica. This game, I ended up finding it at another castle over by the Alderwood Mall in Linwood, Washington. I found the premium edition that came with a mini art book and a soundtrack inside of a big box with the game that was in like near mint condition. I was able to pick it up for $80, which at the time was going for almost twice that much. I could not believe my luck when I was able to pick up this game, and I started playing it when I got home that day, which ended up being a Black Friday of all days. I was immediately hooked on this game. I never really played any games from Gust at the time. They are well known for the Atelier series, and I wasn't really too big into these like anime sprite looking RPGs, but this game ended up making me fall in love with this art style. I love the Art Tonelico series. I always claim them to be some of the best underrated games on the PlayStation 2 of all time. Art Tonelico 2 being my all-time favorite. Even though the story was a bit confusing at first, I ended up really enjoying it by the end. Now, fair warning, this game is a bit broken if you want to play the English version on the PlayStation 2, as there is a game-breaking glitch during a certain boss fight towards the end of the game. And for me, I ended up getting really lucky one day. Like, when I got to that boss fight, I was like, why is my game frozen? When I was like halfway through the fight, the game just froze, and I just kept resetting my system, trying to figure out why it was frozen. And then I went to Google, looked it up. Turns out NIS America, when they were localizing this game, accidentally deleted some code for one of the boss fights move animations, and that's why the game kind of gets soft locked. And I found some strategies that could help me get past that. So I taught myself one of the strategies to spam a lot of magic, and I ended up beating that boss fight and continuing on to beating the game, and I ended up really falling in love with the game by the end, and that's why Art Tonelico 2 is very special to me. Okay, and then I have one little bonus here, and that is for Star Ocean: The Divine Force, which I originally played on the PS4, and now I currently own it physically on PlayStation 5. I'm also a huge fan of the Star Ocean series. Till the End of Time on the PS2 was the first game that I ever played in the franchise, and it was actually the first action RPG I ever played, and I really fell in love with it. Took me over 100 hours across 4 years of playing it off and on, and getting stuck at certain times and just giving up on it, and then coming back later and improving my skill. And I've been a huge fan of the Star Ocean series ever since, and when I saw that Integrity and Faithlessness kind of killed off the series for a long time, I felt like there was going to be no hope for Star Ocean to ever come back. And then lo and behold, in 2022, in 2022, at a Sony State of Play, I see the trailer for The Divine Force, and I absolutely welled up with tears of joy. Even just talking about that is making me cry. And that is why Star Ocean The Divine Force is very special to me, because it brought back one of my favorite sci-fi action RPG franchises. And with that, that is 5, technically 6 JRPGs that are very special to me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am Mecha Otaku Gamer, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.